Good afternoon, everyone. I am Cyril-Pep, and as a continuation, my topics are research and development or R&D issues, and the second one is management information system or MIS issues. Without further ado, let's tackle first R&D issues. Research and development or R&D generally charged with developing new products and improving old products in a way that will allow effective strategy implementation. R&D personnel can play an integral part in strategy implementation. Their tasks include transferring complex technology, adjusting processes to local raw materials, adapting processes to local markets, and altering products to particular tastes and specifications. Strategies such as product development, market penetration, and related diversification require that new products be successfully developed and that old products be significantly improved. R&D is being challenged to some constraints, namely the level of management support constrained by resource availability, and technological improvements shorten product life cycles. As I've mentioned, strategies such as product development, market penetration, and related diversification require that new products be successfully developed and old products be successfully improved. However, the resource availability sometimes is not being controlled by the companies, especially when it comes to external sources. Say for instance, if you are familiar with what happened to Jollibee's issue of their Chicken Joy availability issue last year, which opted the rival food chain KFC to also answer or address the customer's need by having their competitive slogan expressed as chicken sad, which provides solution or instant solution to Jollibee's resource problem on some of their raw products or raw materials. This being claimed by Jollibee that it was a system upgrade behind this issue, but obviously it was not because some of their branches were able to provide as expected. On the other hand, technological improvements that affect consumer and industrial products and services shorten product life cycles. Product life cycle begins with development, then to introduction, and then growth, then maturity, and then saturation. After that, if it will not be able to maintain the level of its saturation in the market, then the product will eventually decline. So R&D, if not effective on addressing these constraints from product development to saturating the market, then the product will either decline or reduce its market share or even cease to exist in the industry. If you are familiar with Nokia mobile phone, the product or the brand was on its peak from 2002 until 2009. But until now, as you can see, it is declining in the market. Their market share is being reduced. They are not aware and they are not innovative enough to sustain their brand in the market considering the competitors. So technological improvements to some extent which the company was not able to cope up and innovate. The most successful organizations use an R&D strategy that ties external opportunities to internal strength and is linked with objectives. Well-formulated R&D policies match market opportunities with internal capabilities. R&D policies can enhance strategy implementation efforts to number one, emphasize product or process improvements. Second, stress basic or applied research. The third one is be leaders or followers in R&D. Fourth one, develop robotics or manual type processes. The next is to spend a high or average or low amount of money on R&D. The next one is perform R&D within the firm or to contact R&D to outside firms. Then the last one is to use university researchers or private sector's researchers. There must be effective interaction between R&D departments and other functional departments in implementing different types of generic business strategies. Conflicts between marketing, finance, or accounting, R&D, and information system departments can be minimized with clear policies and objectives. Many firms wrestle with the decision to acquire R&D expertise from external firms or to develop R&D expertise internally. The following guidelines can be used to help make this decision. Number one, if the rate of technical progress is low and the rate of market growth is moderate, and there are significant barriers to possible new entrants, then in-house R&D is the preferred solution. The reason is that R&D, if successful, will result in a temporary product or process monopoly that the company can exploit. Second, if technology is changing rapidly and the market is growing slowly, then a major effort of R&D may be very risky because it may lead to the development of an ultimately obsolete technology or one for which there is no market. The third is if technology is changing slowly but the market is growing quickly, there generally is not enough time for in-house development. The prescribed approach for this is to obtain R&D expertise on an exclusive or non-exclusive basis from an outside firm. The fourth one is if both technical progress and market growth are fast. R&D expertise should be obtained through acquisition of a well-established firm in the industry. There are at least three major R&D approaches for implementing strategies. First, the first strategy is to be the first firm to market new technological products. This is a glamorous and exciting strategy but also a dangerous one. Firms such as 3M and General Electric or GE have been successful with this approach, but many other pioneering firms have fallen, with rival firms seizing the initiative. Second is to be an innovative imitator of successful products, thus minimizing the risk and cost of startup. This approach entails allowing a pioneer firm to develop the first version of the new product and to demonstrate that a market exists. This is very familiar. There are some companies really who use this approach. There is a brand, especially a cosmetic brand. It's a famous cosmetic brand. And there is another company who used to imitate those brand of the other company that they found that it is a fast-moving product. So also, their company being the direct competitor, they also invest on that one. Even with a similar product, they use the same product content, the same description, but actually they just market another name of the product. So next is that a third approach is that the strategy is to be a low-cost producer by mass producing similar to but less expensive than products recently introduced. As a new product is accepted by customers, price become increasingly important in the buying decision. Also, mass marketing replaces personal selling as the dominant selling strategy. This R&D strategy requires substantial investment in plant and equipment but fewer expenditures in R&D than the two approaches described previously. This third approach is very common on direct selling companies because they really use mass production but with a lesser expensive on products that they are introducing, because they would not spend much on TV ads, on placement in the supermarkets or malls or whichever market distribution they would like to place in their product, but they have this personal selling approach which is directly to the customers. So R&D activities among firms need to be more closely aligned to business objectives. There needs to be expanded communication between R&D managers and strategists. Corporations are experimenting with various methods to achieve this improved communication climate, including different rules and reporting arrangements for managers and new methods to reduce the time it takes research ideas to become reality. Now we are going to discuss Management Information System or MIS issues. I used to work as an MIS analyst in Saudi Arabia. So I have to do so many information gathering from all departments, and then I have to report it to the top management. So this topic is quite familiar and I have a personal experience on this one with regards to my work experience. So firms that gather, assimilate, and evaluate external and internal information most effectively are gaining competitive advantages over other firms. Thus, information is the basis for understanding the firm. Having an effective MIS or Management Information System may be the most important factor in differentiating successful from unsuccessful firms. The process of strategic management is facilitated immensely in firms that have an effective information system. The functions of MIS are the following: information selection, collection or retrieval, and storage. Can be used to create competitive advantage in ways such as cross-selling to customers, monitoring suppliers, or managing funds, and etc. Keeping managers informed. The information can be used by the managers or the decision makers of the company to formulate the best strategies for any given situation of the company. Just like with my experience, I used to formulate and gather all the data, and all this data I had to make a report and an analysis on it, and this report will be communicated to the top management. So the top management, especially the CEO of our company, he will be studying this and even use this as part of their reference to decide on something, especially when the situation requires a serious solution. The next one is coordination of activities among divisions. All departments of the company are collaborating and are interrelated to achieve the goals and objectives of the company. Like inventory and human resource information is now recognized as valuable organizational asset that can be controlled and managed. Firms that implement strategies using the best information will reap competitive advantages in the 21st century. In our department, in our company, when I work as an MIS analyst, I have to work in every manager's or every head or department head, so I can have more reliable source of any information that we have to collaborate and really coordinate for each other in order to achieve the company's goals. The next one is to allow firm to reduce cost. A good information system can allow a firm to reduce costs. For example, online orders from salespersons to production facilities can shorten materials ordering time and reduce inventory costs. Direct communications between suppliers, manufacturers, marketers, and customers can link together elements of the value chain as though they were one organization. Improved quality and service often result an improved information system. So really the numbers can say more than enough of what you are looking for in the company. The numbers itself can communicate how your company is going. So it is very much important because from one strategy and using it for the next time, you can identify either to reduce or improve the costing of such strategy. No matter how improved the system of a company, but if it will not protect and secure the company's database, then hacking of information can be a serious issue on MIS. Computer hackers scattered everywhere in all levels in both internal and external environments of the firm. Firms must increasingly be concerned about computer hackers and take specific measures to secure and safeguard corporate communications, files, orders, and business conducted over the internet. Thousands of companies today are plagued by computer hackers who include disgruntled employees, competitors, bored teens, sociopaths, thieves, spies, and hired agents. Computer vulnerability is a giant, expensive headache. Most, if not all of us, were aware of the RCBC scam that happened in February 2016. Criminals used fraudulent orders on the SWIFT payments system to steal $81 million from the Bangladesh Central Bank's accounts at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. The money was sent to accounts at Manila-based Rizal Commercial Banking Corporation or RCBC and then vanished into the casino industry in the Philippines. RCBC said its reputation had come under a sustained, vicious, and public attack by Bangladesh Bank. It is seeking at least 100 million pesos or equivalent to $1.9 million in damages. The lawsuit is the latest in a slew of barbs and blame trading between the two banks. The Federal Reserve said it had agreed to help Bangladesh as it sues to recoup losses from the heist, offering technical assistance. SWIFT also agreed to help the bank rebuild its infrastructure after the breach. So really, technically, it's a very, very expensive headache for RCBC and Bangladesh that even the Filipino nationals and Bangladeshi nationals are really affected also of this issue, that it somehow reflect to who we are as Filipinos. But generally this is the result of unsecured banking transactions, especially those who are in the top position of the company who have access to all of these procedures. Another issue is the current trend of contact tracing app due to the surge of COVID-19 pandemic. Was all information entered secured through these apps? Many of us are even hesitant to give our information and choose not to disclose all that is necessary. But how are we helping to go back to normal phase when not all details were provided by us? This is a matter of security and trust to the apps we used. And that is how MIS is taking precautionary measures to all users of information and technology nowadays. As an individual, as a professional, we need to know then the importance of MIS when it comes to strategy implementation, as stated. So information system should support cross-functional integration of the business functions. And then the other one is that information is a valuable organizational asset that can be controlled and managed. As a conclusion, MIS is a concept linked with man, machine, marketing, and methods for collecting information from the internal and external sources and analyzing this information to facilitate the process of decision making of the business. So this ends of my report and hope that you learned something from R&D and MIS issues. Thank you everyone, and feel free to discuss or tell me your comments, reactions, or suggestions or any additional inputs about my topic. Have a blessed day ahead. Thank you.